Oh wait! I got to do it now. Wait! This is gonna be funny. Wait! You ready? I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional.
Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Vine Panther Presents. Today we shall be discussing Gen V as we get to season 1, episode 7, which was also a season finale worthy episode. I do believe, and a lot of things got connected. I was extremely impressed with this episode. But Chris, you are back. So what you think? What you think about episode 7?
I gotta say this is probably the strongest episode they've had so far. This is I'm trying to think how to kind of word this. I like how they're kind of weaving more of the boys, the boy storyline. Obviously, it's obviously connected. We already know that, but make it so we're getting into boys territory in the sense that when that next season of the boys, they have to incorporate some of the stuff that's going on in this show. You know what I mean? Where like maybe the first couple episodes, you could just be like, okay, yeah, there's a little ad for A-Train and all this other stuff. And some people, no, this is like now in the boys territory. Now that we got this big virus that's literally going to wipe out every soup imaginable. You know what I mean? And then I love the reveal of essentially just where you know the mysterious benefactor. You know what I mean? And seeing, I mean, I was surprised to see it was Coleman. But then I love the fact how they kind of revealed really where her powers came from. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot that the show was kind of developed based off of kind of her powers anyway. So I thought that was pretty dope. So I was like, okay, so now we got Coleman's powers being really identical to Marie's. And I love how she just kind of revealed that, you know? So I thought that was pretty cool. I was scared the entire time of this episode, mostly when it came to Sam. I was like, Sam should not be having fun. And that was just more of like the safety of others. I was just like, okay, yeah, I know there's people doing like an ice slide right outside your the dorm, but no, you might just like hug someone to death by accident. You know what I mean? I was scared of all kinds of shit, especially when you linked up with old boy with no penis. I forgot the dude's name. With him.
So somehow he still before we get to Mr. No Penis, let's get to the two big reveals, right? So we got so Shetty's backstory. So Sasha and I were discussing this last week. I was like, for her to have this drive to kill all supes, there has to be a reason. Superheroes somehow impacted her life, right? And I love the fact that it was the airplane that Homelander and Maeve took down. Like, that is perfect. Because you were like, they got away with it. You know, there ain't gonna be no consequences. And they'd be like, you killed my family.
Me and you talked about that. I remember when we talked about the first season and we were talking about the plane. We were like, yo, someone got to be accountable. Like, we actually kind of, at that point, we kind of sympathized with Butcher. With Butcher. And we're like, okay, now we can see why they're like, you know what? Kill them all. You know what I mean? And yeah, and you're right. It being tied to her, I was like, okay, that's because she was like seen as the villain, and then this episode you kind of feel sympathetic in the sense you're like, I know why you're like that, you know, just more Magneto than anything. Where it's like, yeah, Magneto's bad, but I get it. Like, I get it.
It's funny. It's funny you make that comparison because that's how I see Kate now.
Yep,
like
lesser than us.
Like Kate / like Jean Grey, right? Like, to be like, so the fact that without her pills, she can hear everybody's thoughts, right? And that kind of reminded me of Jean. And I was like, if she can do it without making her own brain explode, if she could push that energy on people, then she could probably kill humans like with her mind, you know what I'm saying? Or something, or mind controlled in a mass number.
Or just put you in a forever coma, essentially, is what she would do to you.
And I like that. All of that would be awesome. And I was like, and to see her be like, we have to kill all these humans because like they're trying to kill us. And then for Sam to be like, "Oh, we're killing these people," I was like, "This is the X-Men, right?"
This is the Brotherhood right here. This is the Brotherhood forming right now.
So I was like,
I guess Sam was like Sabretooth, I guess. You know what I mean? It's like
he's just the muscle. Like he's just the muscle right now. Like, but it was cool to see. Like now you can see how a season 2 could come about, right? Because now you got like Soups versus Soups, for their own like moral reasons, right? And both of them are right because the Soups are like, we need to protect ourselves. They're trying to mass kill us, and Marie and crew are like, well, they're not all that bad, and you can understand Sam because like they've tortured him for years.
Oh, absolutely.
So you can see
his
why
brother's dead because of that.
And so you can see all of that, right? So you can see why and interesting enough, he's teaming up with the woman who manipulated him and said brother, but somehow now they're on, and he was going to kill her last episode, but now he's like, we're on the same sheet of music. Yeah. So let's go get a guy with no penis and let's just see how this rolls. But Sam is the team though. Like the rest, like I'm saying, like who's going to go up against him? Like I'm saying, like Marie is easily.
No, Marie could. I think Marie could. She's that again. I feel like all of them in their own way are more powerful than they think. I mean, obviously, yeah. There's certain, hell, like we didn't even know until the third or fourth episode that Emma is even able to make herself big. You know what I mean? So it just I feel like a lot of them I think they're in just young mode in the sense of like they're just kind of casually using their powers. I feel even with Jordan, I don't even think we've even seen like completely the full extent of Jordan's powers. You know what I mean? We've seen a lot of it, but like her mixing both of the powers between like both genders of the male female. I don't even think we even seen the full scope of that. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of them probably could take on Sam. You know what I mean? Jordan could at least like hold up with them for a little bit. You know what I mean? We can say that. Jordan can probably like go one-on-one with them. Maybe not that long, but but yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm trying to find the sender's name. So yeah, no. So I mean, I hear you. So
next episode is the finale,
huh?
You said next episode. So the finale.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So it's Newman, Victoria Newman. That's her name, Victoria Newman.
Yeah, Newman. What I say, Coleman, Newman.
Yeah.
Newman. Yeah.
So the fact that it made sense now. Like when they were like she can explode people's heads, and I'm like, that's a very specific skill. Like it's like it's blood. She can control the blood, and that makes sense when you think about Marie blew up old boy's penis, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's the same concept, right?
Right.
So
I wish there was a different appendix that they should have demonstrated that on. I don't know, maybe like someone's hand, but fine, penis, okay, because it is the boys.
So that being said, and I think we couldn't have because we didn't figure out about disease until last week. I feel like the virus, right, that they want to create. I feel like being the boys, they should have made it an STD, and that would have been hilarious.
Oh, so like the next hero gasm they have is like it just everyone has it.
Everybody, but I mean, just think, and I mean, in real life, right? I mean, you think about the AIDS epidemic, HIV and AIDS, like it spread very quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like, and no matter what, they couldn't stop it, right? They're like, what's happening? Right. We don't have a cure for it. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how much you told people like stop having sex, use condoms, it just kept on spreading, right? And it
didn't work. It still wouldn't work in the sense that you get the horn dogs, but what about those who aren't horn dogs, right? You know what I mean? You're talking about what about I mean, let's be real about even Homelander, right? Homelander, I mean, as far as his sex partners was like Maeve and Stormfront, and I guess he tried to get on with Homegirl with the milk thing, whatever. That's pretty much it. That's it. So if the person you're trying to get is like someone like that, now translucent to your point, that motherfucker, yeah, he would be dead instantly because the way he puts his invisible penis into everything, you know what I mean? Someone like that, absolutely. But I don't know if, like for example, Black Noir, you're not going to get Black Noir then, you know what I mean? You're not going to get him,
I hear you.
Like, or even
or they try different vectors. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? They get it like across. I understand. Like I know we talk about how this graphically sexual the show can get. I just thought that would have been hilarious if they would have been like,
Well,
that's on the table.
But let me not confuse what the show is, right? So yes, the show has comedic moments and stuff where you're just like literally like, whoa, like that's hilarious. But they surround it in the seriousness of what's going on in the show. I feel like if you do that, as far as like having a huge plot, as far as having a bunch of soups getting murdered, and then what it revolves under is like a STD, I feel like it would take it away slightly. Now, to your point, what it could be, like what it could do is like it being airborne and everyone thinks they're safe, and then all of a sudden they see a hot girl out there and like, all right, they let them in just to bang them, just to be like, oh shit, now I got disease, and then all of a sudden they explode or the virus goes. That's how they would do it. That's how they could do it. But to make the whole thing that would destroy all soups just being like, I don't know. I feel like that would kind of take away from it slightly. I don't know. That's just me.
Anyway, I'm just saying like it could easily spread on college campus. I'm saying for in this kind of environment if they wanted to test it. But anyway, so I think the two big reveals is Newman's relation to Marie. Marie, again, plot convenience, like her powers like change to what they need. Now all of a sudden she can smell blood or detect V in blood, and then she can slow down blood, but somehow she thinks she still has to cut her hand to make blood a weapon. I'm like, girl, you can explode people. At this point, you should be able to stop people's blood and therefore their heart. Like she should be able to do that, right? Like she should be able to kill people just by controlling the blood in their body. And I don't know if they're going to get there in this season. Like, I mean, is what I'm saying.
Well, with one episode left, no, but I did. I mean, it was kind of interesting how we pretty much kind of predicted after the fact that she saved the girl in the club's life with the whole blood coming out and she kind of pushed it back in. I was thinking like, oh shit. I think like, what was the prediction? I was like, well, if she can do that, that means she's gonna make like blood being like stuff that's like isolated to your heart and just all of a sudden give you like a real life freaking heart palpitation, and just instantly you can't do anything about it. But I love the fact that like Newman, I'm like, duh, of course. We saw people like, yeah, that is like, I probably was one of those simpleton that was like thinking like, yeah, she makes people's heads explode, but then I just didn't question it necessarily, and I was like, oh yeah, and she get nosebleeds afterwards. But I'm like, it's been obvious now. It's obvious. Yeah, that's why their heads are exploding. I'm like, oh shit.
It's almost like they've been planning this whole thing this whole time, and I was like, I don't know how long Gen V is, has been in the hopper. I'm saying, but they were able to kind of tie that together. The scientist being killed at the end, like that's one of those classic scenes of like,
who is you? Anyone? And you're saying you're the only one who knows about this. My thing is, dudes, if y'all are actors and y'all in movies and y'all get a question, you're meeting someone in a dark alley or somewhere all by yourselves. I don't care how cute the person looks, how defenseless they will look. If someone actually, and like you pass them on to something, like you're the only one that knows this information, always say no. And then always answer no. It's like, who else knows? It's like,
can't tell you, but I'm not the only one. Or
I'm not the only one. And then else it's like, and then just be like, it's funny. I was thinking to myself, in the event that I die, all this information, like say something like that. But the moment she asked that question, I'm like, oh shit, why, dude? And of course, his ass gonna be like, "Yep."
She's like, "Is this all of it?" Yes,
all of it. And you're the only person who knows about this.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, "You're dead." Why are we doing this? Like, why are we doing this?
Well, the moment that he stepped out the car, and it was just those two. I'm like, that nigga's head's gonna explode. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, just.
But she did the whole body. So my prop. So again, I guess so. The
was
show.
It the whole body?
Huh?
Was it his whole body?
I want to say.
I thought it was his head. I don't know.
Anyway, he's dead as fuck. It don't matter. But I thought she went full body. But my point is, it was kind of irritating me that Jordan and Marie didn't just kidnap him when he came into Shetty's office. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, if you're looking for evidence, Sam told you this is the guy who's doing all this experimenting. Like, just get him. Like, why are you looking for files? I mean, anyone, and why do you have hard copy files in 20 anything? Like, that anyone can just pick up and see, and you got a password protected computer. Like, that didn't make a lot of sense. But I'm like,
how about the fact that the scientists just revealed the whole thing being drunk? But like, Oh, you
Right.
want me to kill everyone? Oh, and then you want the virus to spread to every. I'm like, oh my god, why are they doing this? I didn't know if that was like some boy. I wish they had a line there when they did that. Where like Jordan was like, how convenient that he's giving us all this information. Like, because the fact that there was none of that, like, and it was just him just revealing shit, it kind of irritated me a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh god, why are we
Yeah.
doing this? All right,
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
like the guy just revealing, like the people, like the guy is revealing all the information, like the villains, all the information before you actually kill him. Well, like,
Yeah.
oh, well, the truth is, this is what I had planned out, and all of a sudden, oh shit, I fucked up. I said too much. God damn it.
Now you got me. Now you got me, Coppers. I mean, but I thought so. I would have took that better. That would make more sense that they take him.
Mhm.
So Marie tells Newman, I got the scientists. We got the scientists that can blow the lid off of all of this, but we need you to kind of put it out there in the public since you're a trusted public figure and we're just college kids, right?
Mhm.
And then she's like, I'll take care of it, right? And she kills him just like she did the people at the congressional hearing, right? And like we're about to testify, and all of a sudden like pop, 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 and you're like, oh shit.
Speaking of which, did you think those kids' heads were going to explode like when they were all protesting against her or not? I had so much anxiety this entire episode between Kate's powers, like when Kate met up with Shetty, and I was like, oh, what's Kate going to do to her, right? And then Sam having fun, with the other kids, and then girl who could just make people's heads explode like crazy in a room of raucous kids who all are soups as well. And I'm thinking like, oh, this is going to be really bad. This is going to be really, really bloody. Like, and the most disturbing moment in the entire episode was Polarity, like having a seizure.
Which I'm like, is that connected to anything? Like, I'm like, what was the point of that? I mean, and that's my issue.
It could just be, you know what? I don't know. It could be the fact like him using his powers is kind of lessening his life. You know what I mean? If you think about it, that could have some cancer implications, or maybe something going on in the brain, similar to like what we saw with Night Talk with Ted Knight. So it could be something like that. We didn't see Andre at the end, other than him staying with his pop. So I'm sure we're going to get that information in the finale. But yeah, I thought that was a good moment too. I thought that was a really good moment where like it was realistic. When I say realistic, I mean realistic in the sense of you not having control over your body and like mentally, you are powerful when it comes to certain things. I haven't seen anything like that since the stuff we've seen with Phoenix, with Jean Grey. So like all of a sudden seeing like, or actually really Magneto, like during the Holocaust, like the scene we saw in the beginning where like he's so distraught that his mother is now going to be taken away and possibly like, going to be smoked in the camps. Essentially, like his power just goes crazy. You know what I mean? So I thought that moment was good, and seeing how Andre was basically trying to like reverse it. I'm sorry, if I was one of the paramedics, I'm like, open this freaking door and let me out. Like you deal with she was getting fucked up. That paramedic was getting effed up, man.
Like, I thought, and maybe at this point, probably, they don't have time to go through all this. I was hoping that maybe you're gonna find out that they've been siphoning off his power and giving it to Andre to get and that's maybe he thought that's what they were doing at the school and why he's like shut up like this I don't want to we can't blow the lid off this because I can't believe that he as a super he would be helping humans come up with a way to control super people. Like that doesn't make any sense, right? So
do you think it was Newman? I just thought about this. Newman, she can control your blood. What if she created that seizure episode of making less blood, like the blood vessels, less blood vessels go into his head that causes him to have a seizure.
So because she was the next one to speak, right?
She was the next one. Yeah. So like the stand-in.
Yeah. So that could be something. That could be something too. We could get into that too. So because but it's still I need a reason why he was trying to protect the woods. Like and it would make more sense if he's like, I want you to be on top, and again somehow like maybe Kate was a part of that. Maybe Kate was wiping his memory, not letting him know that he and Sam I mean, excuse me, him and Golden Boy were both getting fused under the school, and he's like, and so that's why I've been doing it, and maybe that'll be talked about in the finale. I was talking about Sam and Emma's relationship. I was like, Emma don't make good decisions, and maybe this is the first man who's ever showed her any kind of positive attention. So she's like, she's not thinking straight, but. When your superpowered boyfriend says, I killed all those people and they look like puppets, and she don't even ask any questions, I'm like, you're making bad decisions. Like, because like, have I ever looked like a puppet? Why, yes, you did. When we were having sex. You might want to ask these questions, especially when he's like, yeah, let's murder humans. And she's like, oh my God, he's a killer. Yes, he is. Like, you just figuring this shit out? Like, I mean, she looked really surprised.
Yeah, I feel like Emma sees herself as the white woman that's putting herself in front of King Kong, in a sense. Like, he will not hurt me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, which is what we kind of saw in previous episodes too, where he could easily just rip her in half like it's nothing. You know what I mean? I think that she's very comfortable in the sense of saying like, yo, I'm just gonna do my Black Widow thing, and we're like, you know, hey, look, the sun's going down, like everything going like just straight up, you know, like who goes right in front of the Hulk and then just like stands right when he's about to smash something, just like, hey, big guy, all right, so like who does that? But only someone who's that confident of just like literally of soothing the savage beast, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's what she thinks in a sense, right? You know what I mean? I still worry for her because this is Gen V and this is like a boys show, so anyone can get it. Anyone, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? If this was Disney, I'll be positive in the sense of like, oh, they're fine, they're gonna be good, la di da da. They're gonna walk around. And,
I feel to your point though, I feel like she's safe. I think if anyone dies out of that team, it would be Jordan or Andre. I feel like, and I think Jordan first. I think Jordan could go first, but I think Emma and Marie are fine.
I think Andre is definitely going to go. I think Andre is going to go. Yeah, maybe. I don't think so with Jordan though, because Jordan's so that there's certain things that Jordan still has to work out. Part of it, as far as like breaking the top 10, as far as students and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? So, I would say Andre. And actually, maybe Kate, because Kate, like, you know what I mean. I know it's Kate's going through a lot of stuff, but
if she's the Magneto, they need her to stick around. Like, if this is gonna if they're gonna keep it to this like young teen, young adult, older teen, young adult world, they need both sides to have a leader, and that's not Sam. Right, like Sam is too unstable. Like Kate would have to be the brains behind that operation.
You're talking about with villains. You're talking about like
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. It just would be interesting to see Kate do a full 180, because in the past she was just kind of told what to do, but she really did care about people in the sense. And then I don't know. I feel like they would. I think something else has to happen to her, not just the whole thing what they just did with Shetty, but something else horrible has to happen to her in order for her to be like, you know what, F the regular, like any human I see, whatever, there's just nothing to me. You know what I mean? I can see how Sam can do that. Sam easily, to your point, Sam easily, but it seems like she clearly does have her moral compass is very, very strong. And she just don't like being manipulated, but she seems she's only being manipulated by one person. I don't know if it will work if all of a sudden we see her in this finale and she's straight up Magneto. If that makes any sense. I feel like something else has to happen in order for her to do that.
All right, man. All right. Because
at least for me.
So what I'm saying, so it seemed like, and they didn't kind of put this together, but I guess maybe they're saying it's her parent. You know, she left her. So her brother's gone. Her parents rejected her.
Her mom, yeah.
Her new mother figure has been manipulating her all this time, and that's why she's like.
But she loved her. She did admit that she loved her though.
And so that's what I'm saying. So for her, for she basically killed her second mother, in that sense, you know. And the one human that she thought was on her side, you know what I'm saying? So like for her to kill her, and it's interesting that they obviously purposely made it sure that it was blood related, that it was Shetty cutting her throat and bleeding out, so Marie would be like, oh, maybe I could help. So
that
Sasha,
was awesome for Kate, because I didn't even think about it. I was thinking like, yo, that was great writing for Kate, for them to have Kate just like immediately touch Marie and be like, you will not help her. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, all right, that's good writing, because I didn't even think about I thought she was going to do some college stuff, and then him, I'm like, oh shit, that's right. That's how she saved the other girl's life. I was like, yeah, she tries to put the blood back in, but it seems like she severed some stuff. So I don't. Okay, fine, you put some blood back in, but you ain't gonna do a whole lot. It's gonna keep it alive just for the moment. Like,
if she could slow down the bleeding. I mean, ultimately slow down the bleeding until they get the throat thing. But so Sasha said that her exact words were, "You will not help." Period. Yeah. Right. So not help her, just will not help. So she was like, well, technically, Marie could be stuck in a position where she can't help anyone. Because I don't think they're going to go that far. I think they meant it for Shetty in this particular situation. But technically, Marie commanded her not to help. So like she could be incapable of helping anyone.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to go that far.
No, I don't think. No, I feel like the way her powers work is when she touches you. Because here's the deal: she's a psychic essentially, right? It's whatever she's implanting into your mind. So yes, she said the words, but I don't think her powers are necessarily her words. I think in her head it's really the words, because she said it to her brother and she said it to a whole bunch of things. But I think now that she's off the pills, really I think what it is whatever she's really meaning in her head when she says something, that's what it is. So you know what I mean? So I feel like it is just straight up.
No, it's fine.
What she meant is like straight up like, you're not going to help her stop the bleeding. You know what I mean?
No, I understand. No, I mean, but it was. I mean, I
don't know if it's like Leprechaun, where it's like, well, like be careful of your wish, and
because you might get something.
You didn't say where. Like,
well, so we talk about her not off her pills, right? We talk about her off her pills, right? The fact that she had to touch Marie and she had to touch Shetty to make this stuff happen, right? I still go back to, it didn't make a lot of sense when she was able to like wipe all their memories or control them when they first encountered Sam. But that being said, Sam has been on his pills for a while. So how is he so calm? Like
Emma.
He should be like
Emma is like
she's not medication, man. Like he needs medication. Like, I mean,
see this countless times, like when it comes to the savage beast. Well, like, what, you know what I mean? It's like Frankenstein. You know what I mean? Like,
but even he said, they put me on medication. I'm better now, right? And then like it just stopped. Like to your point, he was hanging out with all these people, all these strangers, and just having a good old time. No one turned into puppets. Like he didn't snap and hurt anyone. I'm like, what?
I feel like because he realized he could that everyone's not out to get him. And ironically, I feel like he found that out, I guess, really. I mean, we're kind of broke through him when he had sex with Emma. Because at one point you saw, like, I thought it was disturbingly weird having this little puppet Emma, like, he's like, oh no. It's like, what the fuck? Why they do this? Why they show like, But then guess what? She turned human. I think he was able to control himself. Like he was able to have control over it. Similar to like Kate, right? In the sense of they're realizing that people aren't all after you in a sense. So he was able to just kind of snap out of it in a sense. You know what I mean? So I felt like that was his therapy. But my problem with it was that, to your point, where I thought that maybe he would get unhinged is when he starts to drink. You know what I mean? Because when you start to drink, I was like, I don't know about that. Fine, you just sliding on a piece of ice, okay. You know what I mean? That's fine, but Nicholas Wad is going to now take you somewhere or whatever. What's the name? Rufus?
Rufus,
Rufus, yeah. You know what? That brings me to the next question. What did you think about the political stuff they kind of threw in here and whatnot? I think it's classic boy stuff, but it's I found kind of entertaining myself, especially seeing who's the writer and director of the show. You know, if you watch like Supernatural or whatnot, sometimes he was throwing a jab at like certain things, like stuff like Fox News and stuff like that. And,
So, we'll watch after work. Keeping y'all think. Thank you. Well, thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Thanks, bro.
Don't work too hard. We'll be here. I was gonna let that go because it was irritating me.
You know, I was like, dang. I thought it was done at a right amount where it was just like it was still tasteful and kind of humorous without going overboard. But I'm assuming you thought it went overboard, huh?
Of course. So let's start with Marie and Jordan, because this really, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We have to find someone else to give this voice because I'm a black woman in America and you're you're a gender confused Asian. No one's gonna listen to us. Shut the fuck up.
Actually, wait. What was so crazy about what you said?
Wait. They're thinking they're minorities. No one's gonna listen to them. That another minority is hurting people at this school. Like, you're not going up against a white man. You're going up against another Asian woman. Like, what racist?
No. You're not going against the Indian woman. You're going off of the entire corporation
you're not. You're going against the Asian woman because
but what they were talking about as far as going against God, you, and everything that they stood for, and basically saying everyone that they're staffing is all trying to hurt us. You see what I'm saying?
She had evidence on the dean.
When people think of God, you, they're not thinking of her as the face, which is why even those ads, they never really showed her. You know what I mean? Yes, if she's doing stuff behind the scenes, of course she's doing stuff behind the scenes. But as far as the face of God, you, the general public is not looking at her per se. They're looking at the dude who just died in the first episode. You know what I mean? That white dude. They look at him. They look at him as the face.
He's already dead, so that doesn't. They were trying to get evidence to prove Shetty, a minority woman, was hurting people at a school. You are two minorities, and in the end, they went to go help Newman. Who's another minority? Like,
get
the fuck out of here. I'm like, it was unnecessary. I think we said we are kids and no one knows who we are, and I just came out of a delinquent school. That makes sense. I'm okay with that. But don't give me this. No one's gonna listen to me because I'm black and I'm a minority in America. Shut the fuck up.
Let me say, but realistically, to your point, do I think if they would have made a fuss, would people believe them? I think they would have believed them. I don't think it would have had anything to do with the race. But where it was realistic in the sense of minority, at least myself, I am always conscious when I make certain noises, even at work when I know I'm outnumbered, right? I don't typically think about race, but when I think of like, I played those scenarios in my head. And I feel like what was realistic, at least for her, from Marie's character, right? Marie's character, she was contemplating like, how is this going to look? Now, you can argue whether she would have been correct with her assessment, but that is what a lot of black people do. You know what I mean? I like, at least myself, I've done that. You know what I mean? Especially talking about someone that powerful. There was moments I'm like, I'm just going through this scenario, or I'm about to approach this smaller woman and like tell her to her face how I feel. I'm like, how does that look? A much taller, angry black male.
Again,
there's stuff that people think about. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times people do think about, like, you know what I mean, even though it's not right, or it's not a great assessment. That is a typical feeling, especially if you're a minority, that you feel. You know what I mean? A lot of times maybe we over victimize ourselves at times, but that's just what we do a lot, unfortunately.
I'm saying it was there's been plenty of shows where it's all white people, and it's again they're in charge. We are not. Shetty was a public face of the school. She was well known and respected. She was the dean, so she has more seniority. But again, you have the Latino scientist who's the one doing all this shit when you can just get him. I mean, you have evidence. You know what I'm saying? Again, she's a delinquent. I mean, so the dean could easily say, why are you listening to Marie, who killed her parents and just came out of a delinquent school to even come to the school? So why are you listening to her? I mean, this could be a credibility issue. But at the event with Newman, right? The Soup Lives Matter bullshit.
What about the Saves America or whatever, that little hack that was for?
I was like, this is. I'm like, oh, clearly, I get it. But I'm like, it was too much. I'm like, where about stop? What about stop? Soup hates. Like, I'm like, again, I understand you're doing the black racism stuff. I get that, but there's also Asian racism too. Like, you could have did stop Asian hate. You know, they always do us. The boys is big on this. And just like the Newman.
But they also did the Jews thing too. They said you will not replace us. That's a play on word with the whole Jews will not replace us.
I give you that.
So okay, I guess all right. I guess they'll do the whole rainbow next time. I guess then. You know,
just
I
mean, again,
if anything, the whole Soups Lives Matter. I don't even think it was off of Black Lives Matter. I think it was Blue Lives Matter. And I think what they were doing was Blue Lives Matter in the sense of basically saying, because if you look at like where their stance, it seems like it was more. I think the outside. I think one person might have been was BLM. I think the other Soups Lives Matter was like more like it's like forget them, forget y'all, whatever. I feel like what they were trying to do a tongue in cheek to the whole response to Black Lives Matter and saying like Blue Lives Matter or something, or all like, or actually, you know what I mean? Which is why I'm surprised that, you know. So yeah, so who knows?
So to your point, Newman, who's perceived to be a human, was trying to give the All Lives Matter counter message. I will agree on that. Okay, the sign was a Black Lives Matter speech because she was talking about the soup community and how we're going for civil rights and how we're going for equal rights. So they're clearly we're going for a black minority type of situation.
Until he said the line, it says why we have to care about humans? They ain't us. Like we got more power. Like that was not I never heard no black person say that. That ain't no black. That's a different. That is white supremacist right there. That was a white supremacist.
So again, so in every.
So I feel like what it was doing, it was looking at different facets as far as like people protesting, whether Black Lives Matters or is the whole, or maybe the social right. You know what I mean? The right wing and all this other stuff. I felt like it kind of, I felt like it kind of touched like all of that. You know what I mean?
It touched a couple of them. I mean, Black Lives Matter is a much more universally known slogan. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. As opposed to like Stop Asian Hate, which didn't get the same amount of attention as Black Lives Matter did. So they went with what's popular. They went with what people would recognize.
But Stop Asian Hate was after a bunch of Asian people getting beaten up. There was no soups getting beaten up. So like they wouldn't have made no sense. On a group. To your point, if like maybe the next episode, if someone gets beaten up, then maybe they'll say Stop Soup Hate. But until that happens, it doesn't make any sense.
It's still assault on a group. Anyway, again, I was. You thought it was well done. I thought it was.
Yeah, well, it was just done in a minimalist way. It only lasted for like less than 5 minutes, and then boom, and it's gone. So, but
then, since you want to bring it up, so then they were like Newman was talking to Marie, and she's like, "Oh my God, you could be the first black woman in the 7. Who gives a fuck? Like there's black people in the 7.
Big deal.
In the 7.
That's a big deal. Yo, do you remember? I guess you forgot about how much of a big deal they made as far as Kamala Harris, like the first woman of color, right? You know what I mean? And even to that point, even with Barack Obama, like that was a huge deal. Matter of fact, a lot of people like voted just because of that. You know, they voted just because of that. So I guess my thing is, when you're trying to manipulate someone, of course I'm gonna use that as ammo, but like. Just imagine this. You're the first Asian person to do this, or the first, you know what I mean? Just think about that.
And we talked about that. Jordan would have been a much better figure. There are no Asian people in the 7.
She is binary. No, that's too much.
And there's no but. She's a much better representation of what's never been in the 7.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I thought they even kind of did tongue in cheek with that with their parents or whatever. It wouldn't work. It would work with you being a minority. I mean, as far as color goes, minority. But as far as your sexual preference, no. Which is why even today, which I feel like a lot of it kind of mirrors what you see in society. They allow you like people love that. Oh, you're a minority. Wait, you're gay? I don't know. Like that. That was realistic. I thought that was kind of realistic.
And Maeve,
which was why Maeve, Maeve
went through the same thing. So again, there's difference.
Yeah, Maeve had to be straight.
There's a difference between sexual orientation and gender orientation. Jordan is both, but her external is gender orientation. Okay, but Maeve was like sexual orient. Anyway, my point is they did the political stuff. You brought it up. I was like, it's fine, but I was like, again, you know me. No. I was like, I thought.
Yeah, no. That's why I only brought it up because I knew that had to get to you, but I knew I wanted to kind of have this fight with you because I was like, it was not then to your point, it was like half of the episode or whatever, but it was because I feel like are you gonna bring this up for House of Usher? What is it, like a segment that kind of talked about the particular president at one point?
No,
The whole like I can stand in the front of the middle of Manhattan and shoot someone.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Yeah,
I'm more interested in the casting, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
But that's anyway. For this one, I was like, I want to see Newman. If Newman again, since they're getting the season 2, is not gonna have a Newman and Marie go head to head, if you will, with blood powers. Like, what does Marie find out what Newman did, and what does that do for their relationship and the big scheme of things? That's what I'm saying.
Newman find out what Marie did. I don't think she's going to be really that concerned. I think she's going to still try to kind of just whisper in her ear, being like, "You have no family." I'm basically like literally just be like, "I'm your blood sister," in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, I can help you actually find your sister if you want to. I have that type of power and all this other stuff. Speaking of which, I think it would be awesome if it was revealed that her sister is now joining Billy Butcher's crew. That would be awesome. She'll be I guess she'll just be a teenager, I guess, really, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess, because how many years after the horrific death? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay, never mind. I guess it won't work because Marie's like supposed to be 18.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, young
okay,
adult.
okay.
Her sister could be a couple of years younger. But yeah, that would be a bit much. That would be a bit much.
Yeah.
But
maybe they wait another 2 years. Maybe should, yeah.
Be part of the boys.
Yeah, be part of the boys. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
So I mean, they brought in the older lady from
Yes.
the boys.
Yeah, the one that the lamplighters fried her 2 grandkids. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess so. I'm saying, how many more the boys? Like universe. I mean, as they go into season 2, I mean, like how much of the boys is going to bleed over into this? Like I don't think they're ever going to take on the 7. I think that's a stretch.
Are you disappointed? I heard some people were disappointed with the show in the sense of the not having like certain bleed through cameos and whatnot. Are you also disappointed? I'm not. I like what they're doing right now, and there's I know some people are disappointed, like, oh well, okay, fine, we don't necessarily need to see Homelander, but we don't at least see like Maeve or whatever. Now that Maeve's out in hiding, maybe Maeve can come out in the alley and just kind of like people are upset that they're not really seeing like the Deep, like for real, see the Deep. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like, and I look at it differently, and I say, I was like, I like what they're doing right now because it's, even though yes, it's clearly obviously tying itself to the boys, but it's its own thing.
Yeah,
it's its own thing,
yeah.
And in my opinion, I think they're killing it. You know what I mean? I think they're killing it, and they don't necessarily need to cheapen itself by just having Homelander every other episode show up necessary. You know what I mean? Yes, they had that episode with Soldier Boy in there or whatever, which I thought, was a nice little tongue-in-cheek thing that they did, just to get rid of him, just like that. But I like what they're doing. I don't know. What's your thought on that?
No, I agree. I like it. I like that it's trying to stand on its own. I can understand why the 7 would not be involved in this. I mean, Homelander didn't go to the school, so I doubt he gives a damn, in that kind of sense. So Maeve is technically dead or on the run, so she wouldn't be there. So there's no reason for the 7 to show up now that what's her name? I can't think. So the older lady knows about the virus, right? In the effort to kill all the Supes.
Mm-hmm.
And in a power type way, she mentioned Butcher without saying his name, and I'm like, okay, Ghost. But that should bring that together, that thing, right? Like if she tells the boys, that these people have come up with a way to kill all the Supes, Butcher is showing up, and
will he show up in this show or his own show?
No, well, again, they're not going to this show because they're not going to bring that storyline to the boys. They're not.
You don't think so?
I don't think you're going to see Marie and crew in the boys. You will see the boys in this show, but I don't see them going to that.
I feel like the moment they realized how big of a show they had and they were able to get signed for season 2, I think they realized. I think because they're still developing the boys, right? There's this new season of the boys, so. I think they can easily do that. I'm not saying they necessarily have to have all the characters in there, but maybe they'll just have like maybe a segment where we're talking about like stuff in the news that guides you or whatever, and then all of a sudden someone knocks on the door and it's like Marie and maybe Emma. And then even for the people who have not necessarily watched Gen V, they can kind of give like a small little recap, and then you see certain things where people's powers are getting manipulated or the blood, and all of a sudden Emma disappears and they realize no, Emma's just really small. Like, you know what I mean? All kinds of stuff. And then boom, we're all kind of really caught up to the point of we're just getting to the whole plot of like what was going on with the kids in the woods. You know what I mean? I feel like that can be easily done, especially within an episode, right? Maybe you have an episode that's called God You, you know, when Butcher just like goes there to discover what the mysteries of that. You have a full episode of God You, you know, from in the boys, right? All you need is 40, 50 minutes to kind of get everyone caught up as far as this whole virus, you know. You don't even need a full episode, to be honest with you. You know, I feel like it's easier to do.
I agree the virus could bring the two together. I just think, as I said, I think more of the boys coming here, not them going to the boys. I hate. But
then you got Newman. But then what do you do with Newman then? Because Newman is such a big character in the boys.
She is. So I'm saying, so Newman would be the bridge. Like, she may mention, hey, there was a virus, but we took care of it, because she did. I mean, she killed the scientist. She got all the samples. So what she should have did, and this is Sasha and I talked about, she should have got him to take her to the woods so she could, one, free her fellow soups, you know what I'm saying, and make sure that the hard drives, which would happen in real life, the hard drives would have all the formula. He can't be the only scientist working on this. Like, that's ridiculous. So she should have cleared out the school, just the labs, just to make sure. But if anything, Newman will be the one to bring it back and forth to me. This episode was that with that bullshit, that any Trump shit, bananas, really libertarian episode, both sides greatly. Yes, there's a lot of. It's fine. It's a translation thing. But it was a lot of political stuff. We agree. But
you think it was a lot?
I mean, I think that's what commenter was going for. But anyway, again, I don't want to hash this.
Yeah, no, I got you. I mean, I guess my thing is what I think is going on with Newman, though, is she's such a big character with the boys, to your point, right? That because now that someone else knows the secret that she is a suit, I feel like the bridge might be actually really Marie, in the sense of that Marie is going to cross over to the boys, in a sense. You know, you might not have all the characters, but you just at least have Marie. Yeah. And Marie like going up to Butcher and just being like, yo, she has the same powers as me, or something like that. Or I know who Newman really is. You're going to want to capture Newman, add Newman to your list, and all this other shit, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? I feel like they will do something like that.
I
don't think they know. They don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. I mean, let us know in the chat if anything. But I don't think Butcher. I don't think any of them know Newman's secret, except for obviously Esposito.
Homelander. Homelander does.
Oh, Homelander. Yeah.
So, well, no. Okay. So, I mean, we'll see. I think it's Newman. I think so. I think. So, I guess next week's just going to be a big brawl. I guess, because how do you because this easily could have been a season finale, but it was like next week is right. Next week's probably just going to be a brawl. That being said, do you think any of the original boys soups comes to assist? Not Homelander, of course.
No, not Homelander. I would say the person who I think would make sense in this scenario would be Maeve. But I can see them having like having A-Train in this as well. I would say if there was any crossover, like cameos going on, as far as like you talking about, like are you referring to the 7, or are you talking about anyone from the boys?
Anyone from the boys.
Okay. Oh well. Okay. If you say that, then homie from Butcher's crew.
The Frenchie, or Mother's Milk.
No. The main star. What's his name? The kid.
Damn, what's his name?
I'm blanking out.
Yeah.
Maybe him or whatever. Actually, no. I take that back. No, I guess I got to go with somebody from 7. Yeah, I would say either Maeve or A-Train. You know what I mean? Because A-Train, even though A-Train is still like drinking that Kool-Aid in a sense, right? He's still understanding the manipulation that that vault is happening.
Huey,
why
you're talking about Huey.
Huey. Yeah, I'm going back on as far as what I said about that. I changed my mind on Huey. Never mind. I think Huey's too significant of a character to just throw him in the finale. Yeah, just like Homelander or Butcher. I feel like you can't have those three. That's too much. I feel. Yeah, I think if we do Maeve or A-Train. Well, I don't know what you think.
I believe more A-Train. He's an alumni of the school, apparently. And he's still part of the Seven. Again, Maeve is technically dead, right? Like, didn't she kill herself by trying to take out Soldier Boy?
But she's helping people out from the shadow. You see what I'm saying? Which is why I feel like she would be perfect for something like this.
I would say, but that would reveal she's still alive, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying she wouldn't be helpful. I'm just saying,
Newman's risking it all, revealing that she's a suit.
So
a lot of people taking risks. I hear you, but
all right. So I'm saying, okay. So I'm saying
Maeve
Maeve is a mid tier. You know, what I'm saying that's fine. So I mean, I'm so yeah. We agree. A-Train or Maeve.
Yeah.
But we'll say one of those two. I think anybody else wouldn't make a lot of sense. Or like I said, would be too big.
It's too much
of a crossover.
Right. No, it would be too much. You're right.
Yeah. Also, and again, like we said, at least I would like to. Hopefully they're not going to. But I would like to address whether or not that is the same drive-in theater that Black Noir went to. That Sam and Emma ended up at, because that would, it looked so familiar. Like it just, if somehow they could kind of connect that would be kind of cool. All right. Anything else with this review? Because we gotta get to Usher.
No. I think the strongest episodes they've had. And I'm actually kind of blown away as how much I really enjoyed the show. I thought this show was going to be like meh, an all right thing, just with a little bit of Project X and Superbad sprinkled in, and it has those moments. But overall, I am really, really, really enjoying this spinoff. So can't wait to see what happens in the finale.
All right, Chris, I agree. I will see you for our next video.
Yep, see Usher.
All right, everyone. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. Again, outstanding episode. And I too look forward to see how they top this for the finale. So you can stay with us. We're gonna do the Edgar Allan Poe inspired limited series on Netflix, The Fall of the House of Usher. We're gonna do that with the whole crew. So you can stick around for that if you want. Or if not, then we will see you this weekend as we get back to Force and some other content that we are familiar with. But anyway, see you next time. I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching in the chat.
I enjoyed the view very much. I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You're gonna be like, oh shit,
hilarious, absolutely hilarious.
You want to go ahead?
Oh shit.
Do your thing. Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just gonna end this broadcast and say bye.